Hello, everyone. This is Christy Estelle with another Astro Minute. Today's energies are for 10/2 of 2024. Some big energies today, so I'm going to try something a little bit different. It may go a little bit longer than my normal Astro Minute. So if you want to check out the full thing, you can certainly go to YouTube. I'll put a link in the comments. I will try to get as much as I can out in this Astro Minute. There's a lot going on this new moon. It is also a solar eclipse. And as you well know, solar eclipses are revealing. So they reveal something to us. And because it's a solar eclipse in Libra, it is revealing something about our relationships, about where we are out of balance, about our relationship perhaps to ourselves. And that's something that I'm seeing very acutely in this solar lunar eclipse, is that there are some relationships to ourselves that maybe no longer serve us, some behaviors that we have that perhaps we are ready to release. New moons are usually about intentions, about looking forward, about how we want to behave in the future. So it's a great time to really vision that. Some people think that the eclipse energy adds a little bit of chaos to that, but I think that we can still focus on our intentions in order to create the future that we're looking for, especially because Jupiter is still sextiling Chiron. So Jupiter is that planet of expansion, right? It is the planet of really thinking about how we want to learn about the future, how we want to be in our futures. And Chiron is healing that for us. So I think this is allowing us to create that vision for the future that we truly want to be in. The moon opposes the North Node also this morning at about 6:52 a.m. And I would think that what this is inviting us to do is to really counterbalance all of these emotions we have around all of the stuff that's coming up from our past. That is probably due to the South Node being pretty close to this eclipse in Libra. And if you recall, South Nodes are all about releasing. So we have all of this energy around releasing, around what no longer serves us. Black Moon Lilith is our fears, and that is also sitting there with this eclipse, with this South Node energy. So releasing those fears, and Chiron sextiling Jupiter representing the healing of those fears. The moon opposing the North Node is asking us to balance all of these emotions with who we are, who we know we are, who we have really been intentionally creating of who we are in the last several months, especially in the last several weeks since we've had the last eclipse. The moon actually conjuncts the sun officially, so that solar eclipse happens at 1:49 p.m. So right in the middle of the day, we have this reconciliation of all of these energies that we're trying to bring together. Later in the evening at about 5:21 p.m., the moon ends up conjuncting Mercury. And so this is asking us to get our mind on board with all of these huge changes that are going on today. The last thing I want to talk about is the fact that there is still this grand trine in water, which is continually getting tighter and tighter. And that is between all of these water signs, of course, and Venus, Mars, and Saturn. And I think that that's super significant because we're bringing together really what our heart wants, our creativity, what we're expanding into, and because of the sextile between Jupiter and Chiron, healing from, and the energy of action, of doing things, of getting it done. So we're taking all of these feelings that we've accumulated, especially since the last eclipse, but also over the last couple of months, all of the things that we have learned from this last eclipse series. So eclipses run like this. Eclipses are in a certain set of signs over about 1.5 to 2.5 years. And once these energies come together, it signifies a completion. And this is the last eclipse that's going to be in Libra for us. So it's signifying the completion of the relationship to ourselves, of the relationships to others that maybe served a purpose at one time, maybe even the relationship to ourselves that had served a purpose at one time, but that we're ready to release in favor of making space for new opportunities, new people that are coming into our lives that are helping us with our life's goals, which is represented by that counter axis of Aries. And I think this signifies a huge amount of optimism. So, long story short, I highly recommend that you vision something that your heart truly wants today and hold that vision together. Maybe check in on it a couple of times today or write it in a journal and look back on it. Because we are in some huge times of transformation, and that water energy is definitely supporting us moving forward. This has been a longer overview of the energies of the day, and as always, keep your astrology uplifting.